Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Vision Movement. My name is Maluaway tulba. I'm currently speaking to Mamer. He's the author of Shadow of the Rap Live Trail. Earlier in the first episode, we also spoke about his journey live in South Sudan and also in the refugee camp. So we are back now. We're gonna speak about his life journey to Australia. And Mamer, welcome back, my brother.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Maluaway, for having me again and to brainstorm ourselves of the topic of the interview number 2. So, coming to live in Australia and live in Africa, they were quite different, and they are quite different because back home there are currently used to be war and war and war. And when we came to Australia, we come and find a different environment, culture different, and a lot of stuff. And it is something that we all could learn from it because back in South Sudan, even if you compare Sudan with Kenya, I look at it, it was different because when we used to come to Nairobi, it was a bit more civilized than when we were in South Sudan because of civil war. So only thing I can just say is that there are different in every culture, in every life, or in every country. So every country you go and you are a refugee, you will face a lot of challenges, and it will be very hard for you to adjust to the law of that country, to their culture, or to integrate in general. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Since you wrote a book, what would you like to tell the young people these days about education? What advice would you give to young people these days about education?
In general, like young people all the time, they are likely to face many challenges, and it's not only South Sudan alone. Even here in Australia, so there are a lot of things that affect the life of young people, especially in Western world here in Australia. Here. Number one is the use of drug, alcohol, and all these things. They can just change you and they put you in a high risk situation. What I mean by high risk situation is like people that you hang around with the wrong fears, and at the end of the day, you guys go and drink together, and young people all the time, they don't like each other. If somebody have a whole grudge against you and people fight and at the end of the day, you get yourself in prison. So all my message to them is that follow your education. Doesn't matter, even if you go to prison, that's not the end of your life. You can change your life. There are a lot of things that you can do. If you are integrated to the community, change your peer group, change your associate, and start your life. You can work, you can go to school, because in school there's no age for it. So even you can even study even when you're 70 years old. So in life, you have to be organized and make sure that whatever, avoid use of substance like alcohol, drug, all these things, they're just there like you think they will reduce your frustration, your stress, but they increase it to the point of which when you go, you become like addict for it. So it's very hard to change. So the only thing that I could just tell to the young people, just watch out. And number two, you have to respect the law of that country, because when you break the law, the police is already there. You already find yourself in court and you end up in prison. And from there, you have to look at it. So you have to ask yourself, is that the way, you have to ask yourself, after I get out from this place, what can I do? So life is all about plan, it's all about hope. The only thing that I can just say.
Thank you for that, my brother. One thing I'd like to ask you as well, who did you come here to Australia with?
I came with my mother because in my family, I was born with my sister, and she passed away while she was maybe 1 year old, and I'm the only child to my family. So when the war happened in 1991, I was separated with my father. So my father ran from Bor all the way up to Bargazal. And my mom and I, we ran all the way up to Juba. So all this time, I was with my mother up to Kakuma refugee. So I've been in Kakuma for 16 years. So I came to Kakuma 1992 until 2008 when I arrived to Australia. So all these years is only my mother. But I seen my father after I returned in 2005. Before I came to Australia, I went to South Sudan. And this is the time I reunited with my dad. I seen my dad after 15 years. Since the war split us into two in 1991, because 1991, when that war came, you have no time Many families they separated. Many kids were abducted. Some children now they're in Longway because it is a war of situation. You can't even help anybody. So you have to run for your own life because it was a very bad situation. And not only other many places that any place of war, there's nothing good with the war. You know, in a war situation, you have no choice because you have to look for a place to run to because that's the only thing. Because and thank God, like even if my dad passed away while I was in prison, it's good that I seen him in 2005. So these are things that happen in life. But I just can't just say anybody. If I make it, anybody can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I like to take you back even further too. You know, I like to take you back to the part in your book. You know, when you also talk about a certain like adults. You know, back at home, adults can tell a certain event that are gonna happen. You know, if you know what I mean, if certain animals come in numbers or.
Yeah. That's just something to do with the culture. You know, like when I was in a village, if you are a child, you are a boy, you are a head boy. All the time, what they do to you, you have to be taught on how to study the wildlife. So wildlife determine the future according to the elders. So when I used to sit around with my uncles, they explain stories of animal and they know what sort of animal. If there are too many in the season, it could mean something in that season. So, for example, if there are 12 deer, too many deer in the season, my uncle used to say that that's a sign of war. So when there were too many season, like too many deer, in 1990, that was the time my uncle used to say when there must be a war because this is what they know because it was passed from their fathers to their time. The same when the frog crow underneath the water, people know that one is going to be rain. So according to African tradition, animals can determine the future. They can determine what will happen in 10 years, in 15 years. So that's what I learned when I was in the village. And I was taught because I was a head boy, and I should know that because when I become an adult and I'm still going to live in that village, I should know all about the animals.
Yeah, Mamer, thank you there. We're going to stop there. It was nice speaking to you, my brother. And all of you guys that are wondering, go to Amazon and buy Mamer thuch book. His book is inspirational. And thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Vision Movement, we are live and well and ready to move. Thank you very much.
Well done.